If you are like me, you probably have wondered several times over the years, what on earth did Christine do to Cody to make him have this long-standing vendetta against her? He speaks of never having been attracted to her, of actually being repulsed by her physically, and then would speak in such derogatory ways about her, like saying she behaved like a princess. After watching Cody's nephew Ben discuss his family history in an interview with the channel Cults to Consciousness, I have a theory on possibly why this is. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get into today's video. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. Happy October, everybody. On the off chance that Cody Brown sees this video, just a friendly reminder, Gabe's birthday is on the 11th. Last Thursday, during our members only live stream, we discussed in detail this interview that Cody's nephew Ben gave to Cults to Consciousness. Rewatching Sister Wives, you will definitely pick up on a vibe of Christine constantly seeking validation and approval from Cody, and Cody seemingly always carrying this chip on his shoulder about perceived wrongdoings committed by his third wife. From watching the show and reading their book, I never got the sense that Christine acted any more or less poorly or needy than his other wives, yet somehow she was always vilified the most for her behavior. These past couple seasons, it's been glaringly obvious that there's this animosity that Cody holds for Christine, and I just don't think Cody ever really liked her very much. I've always cringed and wondered why even disclose the story about the nachos. It seems like the only purpose that served was to humiliate her even years after the fact. For the last several years of their marriage, and especially once they made the move to Flagstaff, it was very apparent that Cody would pretty much rather have a root canal than go over to Christine's. He finally admits to her he's not interested in having an intimate marriage with her, and she should get used to being the new Mary in town. Christine was like, no thanks, and while this surprised Cody, it didn't offer him the relief that you think that it would have. Look, Cody, you have one less house that you're obligated to go to. You can visit your kids, even though we know you won't, but Christine isn't going to lurk in your orbit the way Mary has, so the pressure is off, right? Well, no. Cody seems literally incapable of letting his relationship with Christine go. It's so strange. He meets up with Janelle to discuss the fight they had, but he diverts the conversation into bitching about Christine. And it's like, dude, Christine has been gone for months at this point, yet she is still living rent-free in his head. In the video that I put out yesterday, I theorized that perhaps Cody was never really committed to the principle of plural marriage, and that's why we see such a piss-poor attempt by him to be a present and loving father. Perhaps he was really striving to find favor and acceptance with his father, and maybe what we are witnessing Cody go through now is a mix of a midlife and just a total identity crisis. When I was watching this interview that Cody's nephew gave, he said something really interesting about Cody's parents' journey to the AUB.
My dad and his family, they kind of pop around in a couple different places, but they end up settling. They end up going back to my family's ranch in Wyoming. So my family had kind of a homestead in Wyoming on my dad's side, going back to like the early 1900s. The second Ebenezer Brown moved up in like 1912, and he built like a little cabin, and he had like this little homestead. And my grandfather, my dad's dad, had sort of, a lot of that land had been lost, and he'd kind of made it his mission to gather it all up again. And that was kind of encouraged by the leader of the AUB, whose name was Owen Allred. And he said, he was like, look, we need you to like acquire as much of this land as possible, because we need the ranch to be a place of refuge in the last days, so that when the calamities are happening, people have a place to flee to. And I think what Owen didn't understand is that even if the world is ending, nobody wants to flee to Lovell, Wyoming.
Did you guys catch that? The leader of the AUB at the time that Cody's parents joined was Owen Allred. Little history lesson for you real quick. Owen Allred was the brother of Rulon Allred, Christine's paternal grandfather, who was murdered by her maternal great uncle, Ervil LeBaron, who was from a rival polygamous group. It's a whole bunch of drama. Owen Allred succeeded his brother as leader of the AUB after his death. So Cody leaves on his LDS mission, and he comes home to his parents adopting this whole new ideology. Not only is his dad subscribing to this new belief system, but he is in some ways apparently tying his property to the church. According to Cody's nephew Ben, it seems like Cody's father was acquiring and preparing his ranch to be used for church purposes. But that's Cody's inheritance, or at least a fraction would be Cody's if you divide it equally amongst the siblings. So Cody comes home, and now his parents are members of the AUB. And maybe if Cody adopts polygamy as well, his dad will look on him more favorably. So he does that. And I talked about that in my video yesterday. There was clearly a working relationship between Owen Allred and Cody's dad at some point when they were discussing the future use of the ranch. Owen's niece is Christine. Cody's dad likely was looking to get in good with the top dog in the church, and just like any treaty between nations, marriages were often looked at as advantageous moves. Cody marrying Christine really brought these two families together. And Cody has talked openly about the fact that he married Christine because she was church royalty. My theory is that it is possible that part of the reason why Cody carries such vitriol towards Christine is because she literally embodies every aspect of his identity crisis. The multiple marriages to women who you probably weren't that attracted to. Marrying a young woman who was part of the dynasty of this new religion you weren't that familiar with. Everything he did to gain favor in the eyes of his father, and yet he failed miserably. I really feel like this is why months after Christine leaves, he cannot let it go. He cannot let it go that he married her against his better judgment, and then she was the one who ended up dumping him big time. For years to come, he is going to bring Christine up as the catalyst that broke up the family, when really it was him the whole time that was the problem. If you are the beacon that the family orbits around and your faith foundation is built on quicksand, then it is no surprise that it all went to shit. Anyways, you guys, you'll have to let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Make sure to check out my second channel, Sarah Spills. A link for that will be in the description of this video. Follow me on Instagram, Threads, and Twitter at realiteasquad, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.